Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving right along to our semifinal number 2. We have new players and a new caster. I'm finally joined by Mr. Sleepyhead. No, I'm just kidding. It's Spiff. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to cast this game. Would you like to introduce the first player?
Thank you. That's right. I am back from the dead, and we're going to show a little clan and color favoritism. Starting off on the right side, introducing the orange UEF player. It is the man, the legend, the color thief. It is JayWix. And he's starting off with a couple of quick air factories here on Etched Desert. And Nite, who is his opponent for this round?
On the other side of the big desert that might have been etched by the war that we just seen between Iron and Fox, we have our teal AN commander. It is Vanady opening up with a single air factory, but it looks like he's queuing up another one. JayWix. In the lobby, JayWix was trying to propose a rock, paper, scissors to see who will throw the game, but it looks like neither player is going to do that, and I'm thankful for that.
Now, is this an actual air factory going up? Oh, okay. That answers the question. I was going to say, is this an actual air factory going up in the center, or is it just that trick to make the commander walk forward and mess with the score?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, TML, have we ever seen a TML in this map?
Not that I can recall.
But regardless, I don't think we're going to see it this game, or at least not right now. And we're going to see an air war, which is kind of weird without a research station from the Aeon or something special from the Aeon. But I guess, Rainbow's just actually talked about this in the cast. And I know JayWix was watching, so JayWix should know that Vanady likes to push down the center here. And probably going to see a land transition nevertheless. Yeah, JayWix probably needs to engage here very soon, but I don't know if he has enough air for this, Spiff.
I think it's all going to depend on positioning.
Yeah. Ooh, what an interesting fight.
Yeah, I mean, that it's sort of a divide and conquer here, and so a few free kills on planes gives JayWix a really solid advantage in the air here.
Yeah, out of nowhere, JayWix all of a sudden has the advantage here and wins the air. Let's see if he's immediately transitioning into bombers. Absolutely correct way. Great play.
Yeah, and Vanady has shut down his air factories for the moment.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think he just needs to establish a base here in the front. What about now? He's trying to psych him out. JayWix says better. Or now he's pretending that this is actually a throw. And JayWix already knows that this ACU is coming forward, so he should know. I think his ACU is a little delayed to move forward. And we do have a subscription. No, follow. Thank you, Sounder Halo. Sounder Halo, thank you for the follow. And you're right, Spiff. A land factory is going to come down for Vanady. And JayWix, I think, is responding rightfully so here with his own.
I think positionally, the advantage here goes to JayWix if he gets demolishers out.
Well, not even demolishers. I think mobile missile launchers will do just fine here.
Well, I suppose it does depend on what Vanady pops out of this land factory here. Is he going to go tanks or shot jizz? You never know.
Why? Vanady really likes his double radar. This is not the first time today that I noticed him building a radar and then a radar upgrade on his factory. What is going on with that?
Well, the radar upgrade on the factory does give vision, and the standalone radar does not.
But do you really care about that necessarily?
In this situation, maybe. You get a little bit of a jump on whether there's bombers or fighters coming at you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well,
hang on. Shadja's from a UEF?
What? What did I say?
You said if bombers or Shadjas are coming at you.
Man, you're not the only one who's a little out of it.
Yeah. Oh, so you were watching my cast.
Yeah, I caught the last round. Yeah.
Oh man, what do you think about that Iron Fox game?
That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, I'm still recovering. You know, sometimes I'm tired from just casting games, but oftentimes I'm also tired from casting a ridiculously good game. And the latter is obviously better, and I think that's where I find myself now.
Yeah,
But yeah.
no, it was so much fun to watch. So much back and forth between those two. I loved it.
So I think that JayWix has found himself in a similar position to what we're seeing now quite often against Vanady. So I think, he should be well equipped here. Let's see if he has scatter bombs, or what are they called? Cluster bombs? Nice split by Vanady. I quite like that. Nice
I
pick off.
really doubt we're gonna see cluster bombs. I don't think, once you have that air advantage and you've noticed that your opponent stopped building air, I don't think there's any point in putting research into air unless you're going AC-1Ks or
Yeah, that's
gunships,
true.
I guess.
Well, no, because it's a different tech tree, right? I don't know. I feel like it can go both ways, but definitely not while you're sniping individual units. Nice. I love the control from JayWix. I gotta say, his micro, before maybe a couple of months ago, he was really good, but his micro wasn't quite there. I'm watching his games now, and like after playing with him several times, I just gotta say the micro has improved a lot. Like even going down to the bombing run he did earlier, where he actually is splitting his target fires, absolutely incredible. And now split pushing, and now it looks like he's gonna annihilate this army, Spiv.
Yeah, I mean, those AAs were definitely necessary, but they cut down on the ground fire and
Yeah.
make it a lot easier for JayWix to just walk up to Vanity's front
Yeah.
door here.
JayWix was prepared, and there's two ways of dealing with this push. One is to try and get a PD right in front of where your opponent is building a base, and the other
But
one
the
is
bombers
just
say
to
nope.
yeah. And well, no, I was talking about JayWix, how to respond to this push from the Aeon. At this point, I think JayWix has solidified this game for himself, unless he makes a big mistake. Yeah, so you either counter it with a UEF push with a PD, or you try to do what JayWix did this game and try to win the land fight while sniping some mass extractors in the back, which gives you obviously a production boost against the player that's essentially doing the same thing that you are.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of the power of this sort of build from UEF is if you win air, then you've got map control, you've got vision on your opponent's structures, you can see exactly what he's doing, and then just take whatever he's doing and do it better.
Yeah, absolutely. And JayWix is even feeling confident to push into this 1-point defense, and he's already put a quarter health Vanady, and Vanady does call GG. And a semi-quick match for Etched Desert. I would say this is a quick match. 10 minutes here, just about, and 1-0 lead for JayWix. We're gonna take just a little break, and we're going to jump into game 2 in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to game 2 of the semifinal number 2. We are on open palms, and I'll pass it along to Spiff to introduce our first player.
All right, we'll start down here on the south side, spawning in as the Teal Aeon player. It is Vanady, who has started off with a research station. Interesting. Don't see that very often. Research into land instead of research into air, which it's more of a multiplayer or a team game build. And Nite, who is his opponent?
On the other side of the map, it is our orange UEF commander from OSS. It is OSS JayWix, and he's opening up with a triple UEF land factory. And you weren't here, but they God damn it, I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Vanady has been using this build quite often, actually. In the first series against Hope, he opened up like this. And it was interesting because Hope also opened up the same way that JayWix did, but he didn't quite push Vanady. Or rather, he pushed down the center, and I feel like Vanady was able to log down that section. So it's going to be interesting to see what JayWix does differently from Hope, because this is literally the exact same scenario, except for maybe that Hope had mobile missile launchers a little earlier than this.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
funky build from Vanady.
I mean, it's always a risk putting down a research station early because it ties up a lot of mass in the early game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely. But it seems like Vanady, the plan here with this build is to take a more of a defensive posture here. You can see that even going down to the radar where he's building that. And also he's moving down towards the bottom of the screen here because generally that's more of a defensive expansion on the bottom side. Well, actually on both sides. No, I think on the top side, the top one is technically a bit more defensive. But yeah, it's just a very defensive position until he can get into that teleport. And I think that's the whole aim of this build is to go into that.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it relies on a very heavy economy to start off with.
Yeah, and it looks like JayWix realizes what is going on. I mean, I don't know if he had a chance. Well, no, he couldn't have watched that game against Hope because he was playing at the same time. But I would not be surprised if he's played with Vanady. And honestly, when I watch Vanady play in offline or like non-tournament games, or I think even in the last Serpents Open, he did a similar build. So I think JayWix probably should expect something like this.
You know, I wouldn't put it past JayWix to have the stream up on one screen while he's playing on the other.
Yeah, but that's
I mean,
hard and not encouraged.
well, not when he's. I'm not talking about like his own games. I'm
Oh,
talking
like
about,
watching what Vanady is doing? Yeah, I guess that
yeah,
makes sense.
watching other people's games while he's also playing in his own.
Yeah.
I would never imply that a member of OSS would be dishonest in one of these tournaments.
Weird engagement here.
And also, we're on a 5-minute delay, so there would be no point.
Yeah, I know. There's no point, but still. This is a really weird engagement. I feel like...
JayWix doing a ring around Vanity's ACU there.
Yeah. That was a masterful engagement by both players, though, I gotta say. Yeah, both players pulling down or pulling back damaged units as well is just, it's absolutely insane.
That's some StarCraft shit there.
Yeah. All right, third land factory is going down for Vanady. And it looks like JayWix is not going to go into a push here. He's instead going to pull back, build a research station. I'm not sure that's the best plan here, given that his opponent is clearly rushing in to teleport. He might actually fall into a little bit of a trap here the same way that Hope did and lose to teleport. Well, actually, Hope lost before teleport, but that's where eventually that game was going.
Yeah, UEF just doesn't have a whole lot to counter teleport.
Yeah, I mean, you could get structure, mechs guns, and whatnot, but it's just, it's so, it's not great against a good player.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe JayWix wants to go into AC1Ks, which are never really bad.
Yeah, that's decent.
But I don't know why he would want to here. Just push your opponent out. You're up on production. You have quite a bit of MMLs. I don't know. Regardless, I don't think pulling back the ACU is not technically a bad idea. He's healing it right now, so.
Yeah, I'd like to see some of those MMLs go around the south maybe and pick off a mech or two. Like these moments where you're not really fighting at all are always a good time to be like, hey, maybe I can sneak a few units around here and distract him or pull his army away and make an opening for myself. Or just get ahead on macro because he's busy dealing with these 3 tanks, you know?
Yeah. The one thing that is going for JayWix right now is, well, not the one thing, but a good thing for JayWix right now is that he has an expansion on his opponent. And he's up on mass, and Vanady is prioritizing energy production because he's definitely going to go into that teleport. Yeah, a bit of a stalemate here. Looks like JayWix is going to transition to Demolishers. I actually like that, but he has to push again. Like, he has to do some damage here. I like how he is expanding as well. That's definitely the right thing to do here. Just continue to push your opponent and continue to solidify your lead, and that's going to make you very well prepared for the teleport. We do see bada booms coming out for Vanity as well.
JayWix is down 1 research station versus Vanity, though. So he is going to be falling further and further behind on tech as he invests more of this mass into his economy. And just as I say that, he throws down another research station.
He's reading your mind, man.
But still, I mean, it's later, which is the problem.
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to really out-tech a teleport. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? You have to... You don't out-tech it. I think you out-position it. Or, like, out-push it. I don't know. Nice split from JayWix to go deal with those tanks on the left-hand side or on the top. First shots from the Demolishers going out, so Vanity should know. Yeah, needs to be careful actually engaging here because obviously Vanity has much more tanks over there. Point defense coming up on the top as well for JayWix. That's a good plan.
Yeah, a lot of Vanity's tanks down in the yellow there, but none really went down.
Yeah, surprising he doesn't go shields here. Yeah, probably just gonna go hightail it to that teleport.
And I love this from JayWix. He actually has fewer or the same number of tanks here, but with the factory shield and the point defense, yeah, I think he started with 1 fewer tank there. But with good positioning, he was able to fend off that little attack there with just like the least number of units possible that would fight it back.
Oh, I like this move from Vanity, though. Just taking a couple of tanks here to deal with these Demolishers. That's going to be a really nice trade here. JayWix, where are your... Yeah, and he says, oops. You do know you won the rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors in text chat works really well.
Yeah. I was going to say, what the heck are you doing, JayWix, responding with your whole army to that? Yeah, I'm really worried about teleport now, Spiff.
Me too, which is why I think... And there it is, yeah. And again, it's just 3 tanks and a bunch of MMLs over here are going to be super annoying and start picking JayWix apart.
Yeah, and without air... I mean, you could go, what are they called? Afterburners. But yeah, this is just difficult to deal with. Point defense coming out for Vanity. That's going to help him hold there. Yeah, and teleport is just going to be hella annoying. Doesn't manage to pick off that mass extractor, which is nice, but that whole bottom base is going to go down. We need to control K these mass extractors.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a Hail Mary push from JayWix, and now it's stalled out. And he can't really move his tanks too far forward, or his blob too far forward, because then Vanity just teleports past him and snipes.
Yeah.
He can't leave that commander unprotected.
Yeah, a lot of research is coming out for JayWix. It looks like he wants to transition into air. Problem is that Vanity is going to scout this, and yeah, I don't know if I really like this.
Doesn't really look like a tech transition to air, though. I wonder where those research points are going, and I'm wondering if we're going to see some fat boys.
No, I'm still thinking
Obviously,
gunships. Fat boys aren't great, especially against teleport.
Yeah, gunships would be a better choice. I don't know, there's all this energy coming out, which usually to me says experimental.
Well, Spiff, AC1K is an experimental.
It is indeed. So,
I
wouldn't be surprised to see that.
It's interesting that Vanity is not pushing out right now with his main army.
Well, he probably doesn't know where the ACU is right now.
Yeah, but I don't think his goal should necessarily be to go for the ACU right now. I think he should just play it safe and start, what he's been doing with his blob in the back, trying to pick off expansions.
Yeah, I think he just needs to keep his main army, like, towards the front, just to make sure that JayWix doesn't get any bold ideas about going for a snipe.
You know, I feel like it's almost JayWix wanting to play against teleport. I don't know why, but okay, now there's Mex guns, so I do like that. Vanity doesn't quite have the same awareness that that Fox Jamon has, but still does teleport those units out. Yeah, we see a little bit of slippage from JayWix here as his micro is a little not great here. Although now we see it from Vanity as well.
I think I'll just sit my units right into this point defense fire, but where they
Yeah.
can't fight back. There's a
Ooh,
bunch of shotguns on the field now, too.
and a lot of air. What? Oh, okay. He's not going to do it? Oh, he's going to do it in the back. That's really weird.
Well, he did scout those air factories, and then he killed the air factories, so it is a good time for him to throw down a couple and get a jump start if JayWix decides to go back into air again.
JayWix is losing a lot of mass extractors. This is not going great for the UEF player here. There's another little blob of mobile missile launchers coming his way as well.
Yeah, I think those MMLs are really the biggest threat right now. I mean, there is the tele-snipe possibility, but I feel like Vanity's going to hold off on that until he's done a little bit more damage. And
I feel like he can one-shot JayWix right now if he teleported on top of the ACU.
he probably could, but I don't think he knows where the ACU is.
Yeah, and JayWix has to play very defensively with that blob. Actually doing a decent job here at the top, picking off these teleporting fours, but he is losing a lot. I think JayWix needs to go for it here, yeah. Yeah, I don't dislike this. That actually wasn't super great from Vanity. I mean, he did pick off a research station, but really the production is what's important. Wow, not even going to get that mass extractor there. Air now in play for both players. These players are crazy good. This is why, you know, I mentioned earlier in the day about the possible matchups here in the semifinal, in the lower semifinal bracket. I know this is the reason why, is because
oh my god!
yeah, a little late on the teleport, but still not terrible. There's a lot of point defenses there. But yeah, these players are just so close in skill, and this has always been the case, except for maybe in the very beginning when JayWix was just starting out. But pretty much ever since summer of last year, I think they've been crazy close.
And that's the type of games we like to see.
Absolutely, yeah. And series that we love to see. We hate, or at least I hate 3-0s. Absolutely hate them. All right, this is a good engagement for JayWix, I was going to say, but nice defensive teleport by Vanity.
Still, JayWix has enough that he can just roll right over this little cluster of factories here.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's a lot of shotguns, but they're so slow to fire that...
Yeah. There's a lot of health. And there's shields on tanks, by the way, from UEF. I don't know if you noticed that.
I did not. I hadn't been zoomed in a little bit. So, kind of going into a little bit of a base trade scenario here almost.
Yeah, I don't like it for the UEF, though. I mean, that's not enough damage here.
If he can find the commander, Vanity's now retreating into the far south of the map. And JayWix has a lot of research stations here for the point defenses, so I think he'll be able to clean this up, but it's going to be
Boosters.
quite a while.
Boosters.
It's going to be quite a... Yeah, which is great to catch up with the teleporting shot, Jez.
This is such a messy game, Spiv. And the retreat? I don't know if that's actually correct there, JayWix.
No, I'd say it's not.
Although he did take out most of land production. If
He's
he can
getting
get
bombed like
anti-air
crazy
on the tanks, that's actually going to be really good.
That's not on the same tree as shields, though, is it?
No, it's not.
Like, yeah, I mean, he's got the research
He has a lot
stations
of
to
research
get there,
stations, yeah.
But fast enough to save this blob? I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. Although after, oh, there it is, there it is. Nice. Okay, that's really good for JayWix now. He just needs to pick off these surrounding units. This is crazy.
Okay, well, I guess I'm gonna eat my AA cannon.
Wow, this is actually insane, Spiff. JayWix lost all of his expansions, but
Not
yet
in the back
he's
though. I mean, he lost it, but
well,
he,
his
he never lost
main.
all of his expansions at the same time.
Yeah, well, when I say
Until the
expansions in
last one.
subcom, I mean these four, I guess four blobs. But yeah, he lost those four or three main four mass points, and he's about to pick off the main base of Vanady here.
So both of these players basically blasting each other back to the Stone Age.
Yeah. Well, no, and all of a sudden I did not see this base trade going in JayWix's favor, but somehow it ended up being so. I guess all of those research stations just played an absolutely insane role here. This is not a game that I've seen. Like the way JayWix played this, it's not how normal people play Supreme Commander 2. All right, well, he's going to lose that force, but all of a sudden, look at that. JayWix on the back end expanding. Like, I literally was just looking like at Vanity's base for a second. I zoom out and I see all those four mass points taken again. And I know he's been working on that because he told me that.
I mean, he must have been floating a good bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might have been holding back until he can deal with Vanity's teleporting forces.
Well, I mean, also though, I mean, 20 minutes in the game, if you've expanded the way that these two players expanded in the early game, then it's kind of hard not to float mass.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, and the difference is that, you know, Vanady lost his. I think that's what it came down to. Is Vanady lost all of his production, so he couldn't replenish his units. And the air was actually a detriment because JayWix was able to use his research stations to get all of that anti-air and all of those upgrades on his land units. And now all of a sudden he's ahead on mass, on air, and on land. Crazy.
Yeah, he still doesn't. Oh no, okay. There's a fair few fighters there. Never mind. I missed those. Yeah, just more and more expansion. Really, I mean, JayWix reminding us why this is a base building game.
Yeah. And a positional game. Position was, I think, very important here. Especially on the lines that Vanady was building, because if those factories were split apart rather than being in a line, I think this might have gone differently. As JayWix was able to just send his blob boosted through that line of factories that Vanady had in the front or bottom right, I guess, and was just able to take them all in a pretty line. Vanady has the range upgrade on his commander, indicating he wants to go overcharge, but at this point I think that's not going to do anything because there's a lot of air. I think the last chance that Vanady has is to go for teleport. What do you think, Spiff?
Teleport on his ACU?
Yeah, teleport snipe, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know. See, here's the thing. JayWix is right in the middle of all of his production and all of these research stations, and he's not going anywhere. Getting in there is going to be tough enough. And even with overcharge, like between overlapping factory shields and Hunker, I just don't think that Vanity, I mean, maybe with a completely maxed out commander, Vanity could get in there and get it done before his own ACU pops, but I don't know.
But what the heck is Vanity gonna? What else is he gonna do? You know?
Yeah, that's true. I'm just, I don't know.
I mean, if JayWix continues trading like he has been trading the past couple of seconds, losing his whole entire air force here, I mean, yeah, we can find ourselves back to a really bad situation for the UEF again. Do we have overcharge? Yep, we do have overcharge. Split your units, JayWix. Oof. All right, well.
Honestly, at this point, I think JayWix can just fight a war of attrition.
Yeah, but he's not trading very efficiently here, and you know, teleport might become a possibility again. Yeah, oh, well, yeah, the production, you're right. Production is just insane. And we got AC1Ks on the way.
Yeah.
But his ACU is out kind of in the open there. Hope is like, what the fuck? I know, same Hope. Same. I have no idea how JayWix managed to pull this close. And honestly, we are back at the bottom of the sinusoid, and it's about to go back towards Vanity's favor because he's re-expanding and there's teleport. And then these units can really like take out the expansion of JayWix again. But once those AC come out, we might see another switch. Yeah, you gotta not underestimate JayWix, guys. JayWix has been
scary.
Very consistently improving, and honestly, yeah, he's definitely, and at the very least, and not just because of clan favoritism stuff, but definitely in my top 3.
Yeah, not just because of it. Definitely a little bit because
just,
of that.
Yeah, just a little bit, but also I think it's true. Yeah. What do we have? I hate how you can't see the experimental sometimes, but if you zoom out a little bit, you do see it's AC1K coming
Yep,
out.
absolutely.
JayWix very, very intelligently pulling back all of his units there to protect a possible snipe, realizing that that's a very big possibility, and still moving his air. Somehow, I don't know where all this air came from, but yeah, he shut down that expansion on the bottom.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factories, 7, 8 factories.
Oh my goodness.
And
JayWix, what are you
yeah,
doing?
those bombers have shields as well. Although there's enough bot AA there to tickle to death pretty quickly.
Trying to bomb the commander. Wow, Vanady actually has shield in his ACU. When have we seen an open palms game between UEF and Aeon go to the 30th minute? Answer? Probably never. All right, this snipe is going to come in, though. And JayWix is prepared. He's repositioned his ACU in the middle of all of his shields. He has Honker. So there isn't probably not going to be a direct snipe here, but Vanady definitely has to go for it. Nice scout by Vanady, preparing to find that ACU. He now knows where it is. First ACU out.
Yeah, that's... See, one of the problems with teleport is that all of the units appear on the same spot and then kind of like expand outward in a blob.
Mm-hmm.
Which gives the AC1Ks a perfect opportunity to just be like, area of effect damage, smack.
Bye, bitch. Yeah, no, absolutely. This is
and, you know, bots are a little fragile.
Yeah, I mean, this is still a very scary force from Vanity, though. It's all going to come down to an engagement. If these players were different in skill and Vanity was, you know, much more favored in like control, then absolutely Vanity could turn this around. It's just... this is a very technical game. Pulling back now towards the center, trying to find an opportunity. I think he knows where the commander is at this point. He's just trying to find an opportunity and not quite finding it. I'm very surprised, though. I'm very surprised that that bottom expansion is still alive from JayWix. That might be actually the reason why this game is so close right now.
I like if you zoom all the way out, you got a nice little symmetry with their energy arrows. You see that?
Huh? Where?
Vanity has like a chevron of energy in the cell. And JayWix has one in his own base as well.
Yeah, it's funny how that works. You know, I've been noticing these little things too. It's I don't know if they play a lot with each other, but they've like do stuff very similarly to each other.
You know, that reminds me this one time in high school math. I sat next to my friend and we always worked together, so you know we thought very similarly, and we would come up with the same ways, you know, the same strategies and stuff. So one day on an exam, we both ended up writing exactly the same solution to the problem, and the teacher like sat us both down and was like, "So what's going on here?" And I got off scot-free, and the other guy, like his dad, had to come in and have a chat, and his dad was just like livid. "You don't accuse my son of cheating."
Well,
Same sort of
Spiff, that was a crazy fight there.
It sure was.
And they're trying to pull each other into each other's anti-air. And I think JayWix is winning that fight right now.
Yeah, sure looks like it. See, part of the problem for Vanady is only some of Vanady's units have anti-air on them. Pretty much all of JayWix's ground units have anti-air on them.
Yeah, that's true. But now JayWix, I think, opened up himself a little bit here. But now those AC-1Ks are going to come in and reveal themselves. Probably going to be a defensive teleport here. Yep, defensive teleport underneath. Oh, wait, JayWix is going for a snipe? I don't know if that's necessarily the right way to deal with this.
I think it's probably going to work.
This is a crazy fight. There's shit all over the place.
He needs to get those bombers on the ACU, like, right now.
I think JayWix got it. I think JayWix has it regardless.
Hunker
crazy bombing run. Yeah, wow, crazy control.
Damage,
it won't matter. Oh, he jump jets out!
That's the escape pod.
Yeah. Or yeah, whatever it's called. Oh my goodness, what the heck? Did you see that game with Iron where he escape potted?
I did, yes.
Oh my god.
Vanady does call GG, though. There's really nothing he can do from here to recover.
Insane 34-minute game, Spiff. Insane.
Man, I'm getting hungry.
I know. I'm hungry for more great games, man. This isn't even the final yet. Holy damn. All right, guys, we're going to take a very short break, and we're going to be back with Game 3. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back, everyone, to this semifinal 2 round. This is Spiff, joining Nite of Misfortune, bringing you this Game 3. And Nite, why don't you go ahead and introduce our first player?
All right, well, showing a little favoritism like you guys haven't noticed it already. On the top, we have spawning in orange as our UEF commander. It is none other than OSS JayWix. And I actually used to play as orange as well, Spiff. But now I don't do it anymore. But anyway, he's opening up with a triple land factory. And what's his opponent doing?
All right, his opponent spawning on the south side of Desolatia and currently down by 2 in the series. It is Vanady. And he's built a couple of very quick air factories here. So it's all air versus all land, basically.
Yeah, and, you know, I really don't want to jinx it. JayWix has shown incredible gameplay this match. But he found himself in a similar position last season final in the winter when he was playing against Unknown Desire in the semifinal. I think he was up 2-0, and he lost 3-2. Or maybe it was 2-1. But anyway, he was up 2-1 or 2-0, and he lost that series. So definitely needs to stay on top of it. And this is his map pick. So if anything, you know, he should be well prepared for whatever Vanady throws at him. Was there a scout yet from Vanady?
I think this is it going out. No, maybe it's not. I did not see a scout.
Well, it looks like he's holding back. So this might be a surprise for JayWix. Let's see how he decides to deal with this. JayWix is sending out one tank to scout, or I don't know what that tank is doing. Surveying the land.
One thing that these redone maps I think are doing well is moving spawns away from spots where it's really easy to get radar coverage on your enemy's main.
Mm-hmm.
Because the original spawns on this map, you don't have to go very far to get good radar coverage, but you really have to push up a little further now into the center to be able to see very much useful information.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think for Aeon, it doesn't really change if we're being honest, because for Aeon, it's shorter radar, so I don't know if placing it in the opening base on the original map would quite cover the base of your opponent. So you still had to move
up a little bit.
Yeah, so you had to move forward, and what that means is going around the ledge, which ends up being longer. So it's, if not longer than what JayWix had to do to place his radar.
Yeah, I had a moment on Open Palms where I was like, wait a minute, did we move the mass extractors? No, 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 that's where they were.
You're like questioning what's a modded map and what's normal.
Exactly.
Let's see if JayWix will hide his engineer like Iron does. Nope, not quite. Gonna lose that engineer. Yep.
That tower will keep the mass extractors relatively safe for now, though.
Yeah, overall not bad.
I mean, unless Vanity really puts some work into that micro. Like turning the bombers around the instant they drop their bombs and stuff like that. Ooh, Shatra's rolling out off of the line now.
Yeah, honestly, that's a pretty good transition, I think, in this case. Although there isn't any mobile missile launchers from JayWix. So I don't know.
Now he's been focusing on these ground-based AA units, which, I mean, yeah, sure, they're needed.
Oh, yeah, is he gonna lose another engineer here? JayWix, move your anti-air. That is why you built it. Hello. Fishy, why are you sleeping? Wake up, Fishy.
And yeah, I think that's the end of that engineer.
Yeah. 6 is enough. Wait, what? No? What?
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess it is 8. Rainbows was right. No, I did say 8. I'm stupid.
No, you said 6.
I said 5, 8, 16. Yeah, this
Now
time around.
Now you're just throwing numbers out there.
No. When I was casting with rainbows, we had this exact same conversation, and I said 5, 8, 16.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to duplicate content.
Yeah, God, Spiff.
I'm such a dirty plagiarist.
I know. I should sue you.
There was a moment though. Rainbows did a great job, by the way. It was a lot of fun listening to you guys. But there was one moment where Rainbows pointed something out, and I was like, "That's exactly what I would have said."
Honestly, I feel like Rainbows was like a mix between you and Mr. Steal Your Girl. Like, I think that's the best way of describing her casting.
Yeah, real good job, Rainbows. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I really enjoyed casting with her. Did you catch the part where I said, Spiff, you should watch out for your job security?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Man. I didn't appreciate all the Cyber and Swine comments, so I don't know if she's going to be back to casting more Cyber games. But
I personally was deeply offended by that.
Yeah, I think I should ban her from the SCS for those comments. I think they're pretty offensive.
Yeah, I mean, next thing you know, she'll be saying that Zerg is the worst race.
Oh God. Oh, at that point, like, gosh, ban it from all servers, subcom servers. Nah, we playing. Everybody knows Zerg. We all know Zerg is actually the worst. Zerg is cancer.
What? We're not friends anymore.
You knew this.
Oh, Zerg is the worst, huh? Then let's play some StarCraft and see who wins.
But honestly, I've got to say that the most funniest conversations during that cast with Rainbows happen offline between games. There was a comment she made like about Iron, and she said, Iron is actually like the sweetest person. He spoon feeds his cat Cancer or something, or Cancer cat. She said something, and I was like, I understood it as he was spoon feeding his cat actual Cancer. And I was like, are you being sarcastic right now, or like what's happening? Is he trying to like hospice this cat into like death to like spare it from some disease? Like, is he spoon feeding his cat uranium? We just died laughing at it. Like, I'm like, Ray, you've been playing with your Russian friends too much.
Yeah, she's seeing KGB hit squads everywhere.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Anyway, I think we should commentate this game, man. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who's ahead here. The shotguns are actually quite nice, I think, at this point for Vanady.
Honestly, Honestly, it's because really not much has been happening. Both players just securing more economy and more production, and really the only significant thing that's happened is JayWix has pushed up to secure this choke point with
Yeah.
the point defense, which I mean is a nice forward position for him. He does need to keep his distance from those shotjas.
Yeah, not against Shadges, I would say, though. I mean, if that base was a little farther back so that the Demolishers could focus fire more in that choke point, otherwise, Vanity can just position his Shadges around in an arc around that. And he's not really looking to push, I feel like. I feel like he's just... Is he even producing air anymore? Wow, he's not producing air anymore. I don't know if I like
I'm gonna
that.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with you. I think that factory is perfectly placed against shotjas because the demolishers can hide behind the factory and still hit the choke point really effectively.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I actually agree. Yeah, you're right. But still, you shouldn't disagree with
What?
me in my
I
casts.
changed someone's mind?
Yeah, I'm actually a pretty open guy, believe it or not. The Supreme Commander 2 community thinks of me as this, set your mind in ways, but if you present it logically like you did, especially if you throw a chess analogy at me, like, hell yeah.
I didn't though.
You didn't, but I mean, it was
I
enough.
could if you wanted to.
That just
I,
speaks to the level of the argument you've presented, Spiff.
all
But
right,
yeah,
well,
throw a chess analogy at me.
okay. I'll find a spot to sneak one in here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I do like the positioning that Vanity's putting himself in with these mobile missile launchers on the right-hand side and the ledge.
Yeah, absolutely. They're just a knight's move away from that factory. Oh, I did it! I did it!
And Knight's move.
A knight's move, yeah. The
I don't
L-shaped thing.
know. I don't. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. I play chess, Spiff. Come on, I'm not that retarded. But I don't know if the knight is necessarily the best analogy. Wouldn't it be the rooks? Because the rooks stay back and try to snipe things from the back. Or I don't know what the English name for it is, but the piece that moves diagonally.
You don't know the English name for it.
Yeah, I said I'm not that retarded, but I'm still a little retarded.
The bishop.
Yeah, the bishop. There we go. Fucking
What?
bishop.
So what's it called in Russian?
So the horse is called slon in Russian, and the
Okay, but I'm not asking you what the Russian words for these things are, though. I mean, as interesting as that is, I'm asking you what do the Russian words mean? Like, does it just mean horse?
yeah. So slon is horse. No. Wait, what? Is it slon?
Never mind.
Okay, I'm questioning myself. Okay, yeah, never mind. I think I totally got that wrong.
You asked for the chess reference, and then it totally screwed up our commentating. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I fucked up. I done fucked up, Aaron. This is why I need co-casters to keep me in line, because if I was by myself right now, like, this would be way more rough.
Who is winning this air fight? Okay, it's JayWix.
I don't even know, man.
It's JayWix. He moved in those ground-based AA, and they saved the day.
Yeah, but there's like crazy splitting going on from Vanity. I think he's still gonna get all of this expansion here.
Actually, you know what? Given JayWix's use of this ground-based AA now and tank AA in the last game, I think his official nickname from now on should be AA Ron.
Who, JayWix?
Yeah.
AA
Ron.
Oh. Or AA Wix.
AA Wix, yeah.
Or AJ. AJ! His name is AJ now. Even his picture looks kind of like an AJ. I don't know why, but it does.
Well, he's certainly doing a good job with these bombers cleaning up the MMLs in the top right. Still hasn't really managed to clean up in the top left, though.
Yeah. What an AJ move. Oh, that rally point, JayWix. What's happening? And again, I feel like it's transitioning into a very similar game to the one we just saw in Open Palms.
Yeah, Vanity has is still producing air despite having lost that air fight earlier. So I think he's hoping to keep JayWix making fighters. So
Bombing
far
run
though,
coming in.
JayWix has not transitioned, and yeah, he's doing a good job with these bombing runs. Ooh, that's painful.
Yeah, that was a very nice bombing run. There is no AA though for Vanity. Yeah, we should be careful with saying AA JayWix because that's not our clan.
Actually, someone named Ron should just join AA.
AA Ron, oh my god. That's actually hilarious. I
All
feel
right,
like
so how unethical is it to steal someone else's clan tag?
how unethical?
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay if we do it. If they do it, it's not. Only we are allowed to say that.
Of course.
Nice bombing run. Does he have cluster bombs? I always have trouble actually seeing if players actually have it or not.
I hadn't noticed, but I'll try to keep an eye out on the next bombing run, and we'll see. Oh, here's one going on. I don't think he does.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but the way those
Doesn't
units die, like they die in like a line, it's very hard to tell.
I mean, okay, now he's got cluster bombs if he didn't before. But no, the bombs do area of effect damage even before you get the cluster bombs.
I find it silly that JayWix is prioritizing more that blob on the right than he does the one in his main base. But it looks like it's going to work out fine for him. Actually, really fine. As Vanity doesn't really get a whole lot done. Not even the one max extractor falls. Well, just as I say that on the right-hand side, one falls, but...
Yeah,
Vanity?
JayWix actually not splitting at all on the right.
You mean Vanity?
No, JayWix is not splitting his bombers.
Oh, yeah,
To
but
attack.
Vanity is not splitting his units either. There's the boosters again.
We haven't seen any teleport, have we? This has all just been, yeah, I don't even see any, oh, there's two
Yeah.
research stations, but...
I don't think there's enough energy for a teleport. At least not for all the units. Okay, now I'm interested, Soul Ripper and Rainbows, what this Snickers story is. Apparently there's some kind of Snickers story that I haven't been told.
Snickers story.
Yeah. Although it's not spelled like Snickers.
Oh, you got me. It's the first time hearing about it.
Who knows? Who knows? You know, it looks like JayWix is ahead in this game, but I'm actually not so sure about that.
I think he's done more damage, but Vanity has just been slowly building up an economic advantage here. JayWix hasn't really been able to re-expand. He's just now getting an engineer up there, and it's about to be ambushed by more bots.
Yeah, and it's honestly ridiculous how close the scores are.
Yeah, they're right on top of one another. Okay, I did hear a teleport there.
There we go. Foxtermelon is saying horse is
Big
Loshit.
teleport.
Yes, that's the correct animal. Thank you.
Wait, Vanity said that?
No, Foxtermelon. Did I say Vanity? Honestly, aren't they the same person at this point?
I don't know if you said Vanity or not, but I heard Vanity for some reason.
I honestly don't even know. To be completely honest, I need to take an Advil between the games. My head is really hurting from all this intense fighting.
And you're not even the one doing the fighting.
I know. That's the whole thing. I feel like I was more stressed than Iron was during that series. And that series just wiped me out. Now there's a teleport. Quite risky with all these demolishers, I will say, though.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what the point of that teleport was.
Ooh, bombing run coming in. Let's see if he split fires. Doesn't necessarily need to because Vanity didn't do a great job at splitting. And again, this fight is just very messy, and they're honestly on equal footing. Air needs to be
I don't know.
closer.
Vanity is starting to pull ahead on the score screen, though.
That air needed to be closer. Oh, massive bombing run coming in, taking out the majority of Vanity's land forces. And yeah, now it just flipped all around again.
Well, I think JayWix really needs to take advantage of the time and space that he's bought here. He doesn't really want to run straight into this huge wall of factory shields and point defenses, but he needs to get some damage done while he can.
JayWix, the master of the universe, finding or buying time and space. Warping time and space. Oh, Lord.
Buying and selling. Buying and selling.
Ah! Aliens! You know that guy? The meme?
Alien stock market.
Fuck. I'm surprised JayWix doesn't have shields on his tanks yet, but I guess he hasn't. Does he even have one research station in this game? No, he doesn't. So that actually might be a big deal here, actually.
JayWix's turn to lose a few units, but those Aeon bombers not as
Look at
effective
that.
as their UEF
Look at
counterparts.
those wasps just eating Aeon Weedaboff ass. As Rainbows would say it. You know, I think we need to have Rainbows in for the final and have her tell the Snickers story.
I'm down for that. I'd like to know what's going on with Snickers. I like candy.
No, I'm afraid it's not a nice story.
I like mean stories.
And they're just fighting all over the place, Spiff.
And that's a pretty nasty teleport.
Yeah, I feel like JayWix is falling quite a bit behind, honestly.
I mean, here's the thing. He keeps on knocking the army down, but he hasn't rebuilt his economy.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, pretty much the entire south part of the map is teal.
Well, I mean, there isn't really an expansion on the right side either, but I do think that Vanady had more mass up there.
That expansion has gone down and been put back up like 3 times now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think we need a couple more engineers being produced by JayWix and just trying to more aggressively expand to the left, because I think that's what he did really well in Open Palms, is just keep expanding, re-expanding, and now it's Vanady who's doing that and has a crazy amount of research generators. Why does he even have that many research generators? Is he probably going to go overcharge again? This is another 25-minute game, by the way, Spiff. Holy crap. On Desolatia. On Desolatia.
25 minutes so far.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, JayWix really, I mean, Vanity's doing a great job of keeping JayWix from expanding to the high ground in the west there. And yeah, it's the production is just not there. Whoa.
Oh, nuke. What? We're actually going to see a nuke. One that's actually relevant in a competitive game. What the hell, man? This series, oh man, just blowing me away and creating new frontiers. I actually don't know if it's going to... Well, I mean, it's going to do a lot of damage, but JayWix actually is pretty spread out here.
I think if it drops right in the middle of these 6 factories near the starting 4, I think it could kill 3 of them, damage the other 2, and take out 3 mass extractors at least.
Yeah.
And then there's another cluster of buildings over here on the right-hand corner. Yeah, I mean, JayWix is spread out, but his buildings are kind of in clusters where they're going to be easy for a nuke to take out. And that first nuke is building now.
Shields now in the way. What the hell is this game?
The Aeon is turtling? What?
Yeah. I know, right? I feel like that's been more of a development though throughout these 2 years. Is that AN has grown so turtly with shields, and I mean this is the first time we're seeing nukes, but
And it was always a fun race, in my opinion, to turtle with because of electroshock mainly.
yeah, but those we only did that in like meme games.
Oh shit! I used to do that to Pat 098
Lol.
on the pre DLC ranked ladder.
Really?
Oh yeah, because
So
everyone
that's
knows
where
what.
he learned all his gay shit.
No, well, everyone knows what Pat does, and after about the third time of him doing the exact same thing, I was like, okay, we're gonna pull out electroshock, and yeah, it was really fun. There was a period of, I don't know, maybe 6 months or so where I would play him like twice a week, and he never beat me in the entire 6 month period. He would get so frustrated. It was great.
I wonder what JayWix is thinking right now. Like, I would be thinking, why is my opponent not doing anything?
Yeah, it's quiet. Too quiet.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is very much a vanity game.
Nuke getting close to finished.
You know what? They didn't rock, paper, scissors this game. Or
You're
did
right, they
they?
didn't. No, I don't remember seeing it.
So I think they're confused as to who should be throwing this game. Why is there a research station up there? I am so confused. Nuke is done, and nuke is launched. We might have a snipe, actually, before this nuke even
Yeah.
hits.
There's so many shields there, though, and all that
Yeah.
bot AA, I don't think it's going to get through.
Yeah, no, I agree. Oh, and there's a shield. There's shield on the ECU, too.
Yeah, I mean, there's no avoiding that nuke hitting. The snipe, I'm not optimistic. JayWix is managing to bust through the shields there, but
It's going to give an opportunity to his army, but now there's too much now. JayWix does call GG, which means it's not going to be a straight sweep, guys. We're going to go to game 4. 2-1 for Vanady, or sorry, for JayWix still, but Vanady is pulling it back close. And what did I say at the beginning of the game? I hope I didn't jinx him, and we don't have another repeat of last season. But we're not there yet. We have 2-1 lead for JayWix. We're going to grab a quick break. I need to take that Advil, and then we're going to jump into game 4. Be right back.
welcome back, everyone, to our semifinal 2. We're on game 4 here on Emerald Crater. This is Spiff joining Knight of Misfortune. And Knight, once you're done popping that painkiller, why don't you go ahead and introduce our first player?
All right. Hang on. I'm not quite done. But our first player on the right-hand side is AA Vanady. He's spawning as our teal and commander and opening up with a triple land factory. Interesting. And what's his opponent doing, Spiff?
Well, over on the other side of the map, spawning in as the orange UEF commander, it is JayWix, who has opened up 1 air, 1 land, and is going eco behind that. So he's going to be sending a quick scout off across the map. He'll see exactly what's going on. We've already got bots coming out, so I think maybe Vanady has seen this air opening coming.
Yeah, I think JayWix did a lot of testing on this map, and I think he kind of started approaching it with the same mindset initially to open up with a triple land factory, like Vanity did, and maybe have some anti-air or a lot of anti-air. But I don't know if that works too well. We'll see. I think 1 air opening is pretty nice here, especially once you get bombers, which JayWix is transitioning. He's not going to make that a silly mistake. And he's grabbing a second land factory as well. I mean, this is honestly a really good situation to be in on this map as UEF, to be in a defensive posture here.
Well, Vanity certainly is making it defensive posture for JayWix, pushing up into the center here, taking up a little bit of ground, and excuse me.
Yeah, he's not really expanding at all.
Well, he is expanding in the center here, and I think we're probably going to see a factory or two go down.
Yeah, but the real creme de la creme here on this map is expanding out like JayWix is doing, and I think that's why the one air opening or air opening in general is a little better. JayWix micro the tank out, please. Please, please, please. Nope. Not good enough. Wait, is that a TML? Please don't be a TML. Nope, not a TML.
Oh, thank goodness.
Well, again, Nite, it can't be a TML because there's Harvogs on the field. I did the same thing against JayWix, or with Rainbows.
Also, there's not enough energy generators out for a TML.
Right, yeah. Honestly, there's not enough product or mass or energy for anything right now. Oh,
Well, and the engineer getting in on the fight with some reclaim on those bots.
Yeah, good control from JayWix. Where are the tanks at? I feel like there should be more tanks at this point.
Yeah, he doesn't really have that many, does he?
JayWix micro that bomber out. Not like it matters a lot, but could be a nice touch. All right, well, I mean, I don't totally love this push by Vanady, but I mean, point defenses are point defenses, so we'll see how JayWix responds to this. Here is already getting a shield, and maybe a installation for TML on one of his factories could be a good idea. It also catches this flank coming around, so that's a nice pickup.
And JayWix, like we were talking about before, JayWix has the Intel Center on one of his factories, and he has foregone a regular radar station thus far into the game.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, he has air out on the field. I don't think he necessarily needs a full-blown radar, but once these bots start running around wild, which they're kind of already doing, it's going to be hard to deal with. And Vanity's not expanding at all to the back. It's all about the front here. So it's all going to be about if JayWix can hold, because if he can hold and continue expanding, he's going to be very well off here in this game. One point defense, honestly, will help with this whole, what are they called, Harvog situation. And this is where the lack of radar is honestly going to start biting him in the butt.
Yeah, Vanity doing a really good job splitting off individual bots here to harass.
Yeah, not bad at all. And if he can just get a one mass extractor or even engineer with just one bot, or just a handful of bots, honestly. Not even a turd of bots. Not even a turd of bots. He's going to be in a really good position. Any plane that he snipes off? Nice pullback by JayWix, though.
Yeah, I really don't think we're going to see too many planes going down to these bots, but the tricky part is Vanity's just moving these bots around like crazy, and it's really hard to nail them down.
Yeah.
It's taking up a lot of attention and APM.
Absolutely, yeah. First mass extractor does fall, and that's big. That's already very, very significant. There's a fourth land factory already for Vanity. And I think we're going to see a second mass extractor go down. Yep, indeed we do. Maybe even a third. No, I highly doubt a third will go down.
JayWix finally does split off a couple of tanks to help push this back. And just resumes right on expanding now that he's cleaned up all the bots.
Yeah, he needs a third factory, though. A third land factory, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. He's falling behind in production. That his blob of tanks is significantly smaller than this blob of bots.
Yeah, and even though it's mostly bots, it's still, a significant thing here. And I'm still not sure what tech he's going. Finally picks off that last bot. Let's see, how many planes do we got? We got 7 there. 10, 11. 11 planes. Actually, 12, 13. Not quite enough to be really doing much. I don't know why there's still wasps. Did he make a mistaken wasp, or is it just still from the beginning?
I think it's still from the beginning. I
Hmm.
think he built 2 wasps before the first bomber, and he's just been using them to scout around the north side of the map here, keeping them very safe.
Yeah, I'm really surprised there's no demolishers yet from JayWix. This is a really nice choke point for that, I feel like. He's expanding like a beast, though.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. He's not deciding to go for another bombing run on that mass extractor. Maybe here goes now. I think he could take it out,
Yeah, I think he
but
can.
it's regenerating health quickly.
Yeah, with that engineer there, too. Oh, no!
Yeah,
Are you serious? Wow.
he waited a second too long to go in for that second bombing run. He could have
Yeah.
taken it out if he had gone right back in and maybe lost a plane or two, but
Well,
I
he
mean,
didn't lose a plane there, so I think he's okay. Needs to be careful not to walk into that anti-air tower in the back. Wow, he's just gonna go for the factory. Shield being built. Is it gonna be in time though?
yeah, I think he can get this. I think he can get it.
Nope. Oh my god, again? Wow, that has got to be frustrating for
It was down
JayWix.
to like 100 health.
I think he just needs to pull out.
Nah, he's
Oh.
fine.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Some of them go through the shield somehow. That's true.
If he loses a couple of bombers for that, it's totally worth it.
Again, though, it's that expansion. The expansion, I think, is what ultimately will be good for JayWix unless he makes a big mistake. Yeah, I guess teleport can come in as well. You're right. But who knows? I would really like to see JayWix to be a little more active with the planes. Yeah, there we go. And again, there's 3 bots in the bottom. Where did they even come from? Is there teleport
They've just
already?
been they were just chilling out in the kind of dead zone in between all those mass extractors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that's it's. I think it's time. JayWix needs a. Oh no, he does have a radar now. Never mind.
Did he build one? Oh, yeah,
Hmm.
it's up there. But I don't think it covers bottom very well.
Yeah, those bots might have been chilling just outside the radar range, and then they snuck in. I'm not sure.
We do have a couple of stars on JayWix's units, so honestly surprised at this point he isn't pushing out because his opponent has shown him that he's harassing, just being obnoxious, and now he's just opening up himself to exactly what those TMLs are doing.
Yeah, I think JayWix has enough. With like one good bombing run, he could definitely take the center with this blob.
Yeah, now there's shot just coming out, so it's going to be kind of difficult for JayWix to do anything if he doesn't push now.
I think he just really. I just think he needs to get in there with one good bombing run in the center of that blob, and he can just roll right over what's left.
Yeah. Also interesting that JayWix is not going super heavy in air this game, but I do quite like what he's doing, and now he's up on production. Pretty handsomely. He's going to scout, get eyes on that expansion as well. Very nicely done. Yeah, he just needs to not mess up in this game. I think he's looking very, very good. And yes, Rainbows, I did say turd. Did you not? Did you not know the whole turd loyalist or bot turd? A turd is a unit of measurement. A turd is 4 units.
Because that's the maximum number before they start going into 2 rows.
Yeah, and then they just make a bigger turd.
Well, that would be a log.
Ugh. Oh God. Thank you for putting that image into my head, Spiff.
You're welcome.
God.
Anytime.
Well, to be fair, I was trying to think of something to say, something to that nature. I was just wasn't clever enough. I'm a little slow today, or rather, right now. Look at these engineers on top. I wonder if
Okay,
they're.
see,
Wonder if they're expanding engineers or fuck you up engineers.
sacrifice capture engineers.
Yeah.
Although they're going to get there, find nothing, and probably just drop 3 mass extractors right away.
Yeah. But these ones on the bottom, point
Or
defense
2
coming
and a
up.
point defense.
Can a point defense kill an engineer before it sack caps? I think it can.
Yeah, pretty sure.
JayWix is aware.
Actually, if it doesn't sack cap.
Nice split by Vanady, though. But this is a nice engagement for JayWix. Holy crap. Boosters coming in. Bots are not great in this kind of fight. There are PDs on the back, though, underneath shields. I think Vanady just needs to pull back into the shields. He doesn't necessarily need to fight this right now. And yeah, JayWix just will be forced to pull back. But honestly, he's running out of time. Oh man, sack cap.
But his bombers are doing so much damage. Honestly, I think JayWix could lose this fight on the front and be forced to pull back. As long as he doesn't lose his entire army, as long as he maintains a defense force, he'll be fine.
Oh, this is a
Vandy calls
massive,
KP.
yeah, massive roll of this forward base. JayWix build was just better. I don't know if Vanady did enough testing on this map, but he does end up going down in Game 4, giving JayWix his first final appearance in any tournament. And we're going to talk about why that's special, even more special, in probably the final. But we're going to take a short break because I need to do something. So I think we're going to put 30 minutes on the clock. And we're going to be back for the grand final. Spread the word, guys. We've had about 20 viewers this whole time, but let's spread the word. It's going to be Foxtermelon versus JayWix for the Summer Season Championship. I look forward to casting it, and I honestly can't wait. But we'll be back in about 30 minutes. Don't go anywhere. If you're still watching, give a thumbs up to this video. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you are blown away by it, check out my Patreon page. This has been Nite. Take care and peace out.